So I'm joined now by the experts in this issue. James Smith, Democratic State Representative, is in Columbia. And from Charleston, I welcome attorney and law professor Deborah Gammons. So I'd like to start with you, Representative Smith, if I can. I was sort of astounded to see your position is not what everyone thinks it is, that it's a two-thirds majority in both of those houses, which is effectively a super duper effort. Maybe not so much. Why do you say that?
Well, a couple things. The first, there is a two-thirds vote requirement to get this issue, to get the Confederate flag on the agenda, and that's a constitutional, that'll be taken today. That will be taken at 1 o'clock today, and I feel confident that my colleagues, Republicans and Democrats, are going to come together, follow the leadership of Governor Haley, and get this on the agenda. The question of two-thirds, I was on the conference committee on the 2000 compromise. I was there when it was written, and there were things that were in place that we knew would be issues in the future, and one of them was this requirement for a two-thirds majority. And I just fundamentally believe, even those that wanted to keep the flag and secure it against future General Assemblies, that constitutionally that wasn't going to hold water, that fundamentally you cannot make that two-thirds super requirement obligation by statute on future General Assemblies. And so anticipate possibly seeing litigation on that issue, but the bottom line is this: I think we will be able to take action collectively, House and Senate, on a simple majority vote, and I think that will carry the day. My hope is ultimately actually that we do have a unanimous vote on this issue, that we have far in excess of two-thirds vote in making this decision, but I assure you that we will not be required to have that.
So, Professor Gammons, the representative says that he anticipates the litigation, but you think without question the law does not say this. Weigh in on where you see this battle as struggling.
Well, I don't see it as a battle. What I see, and speaking with my good friend James, is that once the legislators pass a law, it is a law. And simply because some think, oh, now it's unconstitutional, they're not able to disregard the law. What they can do is, one, draft a bill to change it, or go to court and make that change.
So I guess whatever the issue becomes, whether it is a litigated issue or not, is it possibly a moot point, Representative, in terms of the number of people in your chambers who may have had the same change of heart that those 2016 hopefuls have had? My question is, are you going to blow away the two-thirds majority regardless of what the law says?
Yeah, honestly, at this point, and particularly if we do what I think we should do, is just take this issue up right now, I think we're going to have far in excess of a two-thirds vote in both chambers. And I'm very encouraged by what I see in my whole state, actually, in response to this awful tragedy last week. It was right to take this action before 9 innocent lives were taken from us, but it's certainly right now. And I know my dear friend, Senator Clemente Pinckney, would urge us on and would call us all together to take action on this issue, as we did together when we served together. So I honestly believe we'll have an excess of a two-thirds vote, but I want the people of our state to know that that is not a showstopper. We will be successful in our efforts, and I think the professor's right. We are going to get this done.
So, Professor, I want you to dovetail off that, if you could, for me, and that is this. Whether this vote goes through, if the flag comes down, it's my estimation that you feel this is just symbolic, and we are missing the boat here. We're missing the point, and the point that the president was trying to make. He may have used the N-word, but the conversation shouldn't have been about that. It should have been the number of 9th grade dropouts, the number of people that need help on a much deeper, thicker cultural level in order to make race relations better. Can you enrich that for me?
Well, the focus ought to be on the 9 people who were killed in this church and saying those names and remembering those names. And then the second focus should be on dropouts. We've got to do more about engaging our children, our students in our schools. South Carolina, as you know, has a high dropout rate. And what I would like to see is everyone who's concerned about the Confederate flag go into a school, go into a middle school, go into an elementary school, go into a high school and volunteer. Go out into neighborhoods where drugs are rampant and volunteer. That's where we will see change. That's where we will see a difference. a flag, a battalion flag will not make that change. People will make that change. And we can do that. I want everyone who's visiting here in our beautiful, beautiful city of Charleston to remember that. When they go back to their homes in these other states, remember that. Go out and volunteer. Make a difference. Actions speak louder than words.
Professor Gammons, good to have you on today. I appreciate it. Representative Smith, thank you also for being on.